This is an oral history interview with Mr. Frederick Jassett by Mary E. Powers at 37 Jassett Street in Nonantum, Massachusetts on April 15th, 1981. In affiliation with the Newton Free Library in Jackson, Homestead. The general subject that will be discussed is how life was like in Nonantum in the years 1920 through 1950 for Mr. Jassett.
Look, you gotta see everything, don't you?
You like that? You like a tape recorder?
You go out now. You go out. You started something. Out. 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 Out.
He's an obedient dog. He's a good dog. Okay. Why don't we start off by talking about this area right here. Okay, just tell me a little bit about the house and what you remember when you were real young growing up.
Well, it's a big family. There's 9 boys and 1 girl to start off with. And I used to get out and play ball up in the playground, which is the Stern School.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd have all kinds of games out there, Levo and Buck, how many fingers if I get up there, jump on. Remember that game?
Buck, no, never.
You line up back to back, one and after, then they run, you jump as far as you can on the back, and then you say how many fingers you get up, they catch it, then you'd have to go down, the other team would start.
Oh, that sounds
You're lucky we never had broken backs the way they used to play duck on the rock, and used to big rock on those things. You hit that. God, I get hit in the forehead one time with one of those things. One day you get killed.
That's amazing. How long?
Yeah.
Well, how long did your parents live here? When did your parents move here to this house?
They built this house.
Uh-huh.
They built this house in I forget, was it 79? I think it was. Yeah.
In
1879. They built this house here.
Uh-huh. Do you know where your father may have met your mother?
Huh?
Do you know where your father met your mother?
That I never did question enough, ever did find out. They met around Mount Newton here, someplace. Because he was doing fishing at the time. And these old fishermen would all get together, you know. That's how they met. Yeah.
And there were 9 children in your family?
Yeah, 1 girl.
1 girl and all boys. Ooh.
Well, you get a loaf of bread on the table, you cut it up, the loaf of bread was gone.
With 9 kids, I guess so. That's amazing. And you've been living in Nonantum your whole life?
What?
You've been living here your whole life?
Yeah.
Okay. And where was your father from? Your father?
Where was he from?
Mm-hmm.
From France.
And your mother?
She's from Canada, too.
From Canada. Okay. How is the neighborhood? Say this street right here. How much has this changed since you remember when you were little?
Well, outside the last few years, I think every house on the street had the vinyl put on, done the outside. They really dressed up the street. There's only one bad house in the street now.
One bad house. But
Every one of them has fixed up their property.
Were there this many houses? Were there this many houses on the street when you were younger, or?
There's only been my sister's house next door and 2 houses on the other side. Three new houses since I was born. It's the only new house. Of course, there's only a short street anyway, not very long. 3 new houses. Yeah.
Okay, how about, where did you go to school?
The Stern School right across the street here.
And that's not there any longer, or is that?
No, they tore that down. It's a damn shame. That was the best built school in the city of Newton.
Really?
I seen that when it was built. I seen it when they tore it down. It was a damn shame. The big crane come here to knock it down, and it took them almost a half an hour to put a hole through the bricks.
Why did they
That's your politicians, the school committee spent money, as long as they can make money and make another school and stuff like that. Politics, a damn shame. They got a tennis court up there now.
Oh, that's too bad. Who else, when you were growing up, what other ethnic groups lived around here?
Of course, they're mostly French people. Of course, there's quite a few Irish, wasn't too many, but mostly French right around this neighborhood. And there's a few Italians. It's a mixed group.
Mm-hmm. And did
But
everyone
they all get along together.
What age were you when you started to work? How old were you?
I worked when I was 15 or 16. I just forget. I worked pretty young. Those days, all they figured I'd go to work, get some money, that's all.
And help out.
Yeah.
Where was your first job?
At the Saxony Mills.
Mm-hmm. And what did you do there? What was it?
Just a bobbin boy, just cleaning the cotton underneath, what they call a bobbin boy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what did you do after that?
After that, I went to the rope mill for a while. Then I worked in the town for a while, and then I joined the Marines. And after that, I settled down.
What year was it when you joined the Marines?
Yeah, and down in Haiti for 21 months.
Mm-hmm. What was that during the war?
It was just right after the war.
After the
Right
war.
after, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was glad to get out of that hole.
You didn't like it?
No, there's nothing down there.
Nice weather though.
Huh?
Nice weather?
Oh, nice weather and all that. Used to go on hikes down there, 5-10 days at a time. One time went on a hike for 30 days, went right clean across the country, Haiti, from Cape Haitian to San Domingo.
Oh, wow.
30 days.
30 days.
Chasing the niggers all over the hill. They never caught one.
Oh. The people that you worked with, did you get along with them? Did you?
Yeah, I always get along with everybody.
Did you socialize with them, say after work? Or did you usually have your own friends, right?
Just their own friends, no. I never. Yeah, I mean, today they socialize more with people that work like the daughters. The old days you didn't. You just done your work, you come home, and just you have a few friends around. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you do, say, on a Saturday or a Sunday for
Sunday?
amusement? Yeah.
When we were kids?
Mm.
Well, I mean, what age? I mean, the real kids or the...
Say when you were 20s.
20?
Mm.
Oh, wow. And we used to go up the end of the street there like the kids do, and they'd all, the gang, hang together.
Mm-hmm.
Probably in the afternoon, we'd take a walk probably all the way up to the maze and the other side of Waltham, things like that.
What's the maze?
It's kind of all bushes. Used to walk in there and out to have an awful time getting out. Yeah.
Is it still there?
Yeah, used to take walks up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we used to have ball games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Right across there, over in
Right
the park?
across the street there. Yeah. Yeah.
Just check that tape. What holidays did you celebrate growing up?
Oh, Thanksgiving and Christmas and 4th of July.
Mm. 4th of July was a big one.
That was a big one around here. They used to have a big bonfire down in what they call the pit.
Uh-huh.
That's where, just alongside the river, the pit that we used to dig the stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to go down swimming down there. The old swimming hole was right down there.
Oh, wow.
It'd be quite a thing watching these people going down to the bonfire. Those days they had guns, boom, boom, all the way down. Today it wouldn't be allowed. They don't even allow firecrackers.
They used to shoot off guns on
Oh,
the way
yeah,
down?
with blanks, yeah, sure.
Oh.
And you used to have these big firecrackers they call the yellow kids, because they used to steal the barrels off the neighbor across the street. He had a little store to steal the barrels out, put one of those underneath and blow the barrel higher than the wires. Kids had that, they get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. What, do you remember World War II at all?
What?
World War II, did you work during that period?
World War II? Yeah, I
that's
worked
in
down the
the
shipyard.
Oh, down...
Yeah, down in Quincy.
Uh-huh.
Welder down there for 4 or 5 years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
On the ships. What about the church in this area?
Well, the church, like I said, church was on Galway Street, which was the Lafayette Hall, where a bunch of Frenchmen got together and made a club, you know. They're going to rent a hall and all that and have shows. But it never worked out. So they decided to sell, but in fact, they had the first movie pictures, I think, in the city of Newport. And it was quite a thing those days. It used to cost a nickel to get in.
That's a big
A nickel
difference.
was big money that time. Then they decided to make a church out of it. And made a church out of it, and they got along pretty well. And then in 1911, they decided to build a new church right up on Watertown Street. And they got a beautiful little church there now. I seen that built too. Used to go up there almost every day, watch it being built. I was my Harley walking around watching those jobs. And another thing is, there's a club across the street from the church, which was not run by the mayor, but the mayor of Newton had a lot to do with it. He used to oversee that the thing was kept up and run. And they used to have ball games and fun in there, and they used to have boxing matches and all that. And when we were kids, we used to go down to his house and ask the mayor, say, well, how about a club to play ball with? He'd give us clubs, boxing, bats, like that, almost every year.
Really?
He was quite a mayor. He was a mayor for almost 20 years.
What mayor was that?
Mayor Childs.
Mayor Childs.
Yeah, he was quite a mayor. We had some great times up in that club up there. We used to have minstrel shows and all that, different things like that. Yeah.
Were the people around here real actively involved in an election? Say if they were going to elect a mayor, the politicians, did everyone
They
know
were,
their
as far as the mayor of Newton was. Yeah, they are, too, like everybody else. But this mayor here, they really went big for him. Yeah. He was well liked. Yeah.
And the churches, did the French people have their own church?
Yeah, their own church now. Yeah, but they practically all English mass. I understand they'll only have a French mass on request because everybody can speak English. Years ago, the old French priest we had here, boy, nothing but French with him.
Has it changed a lot? Do you think the church has changed a lot since 1920?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see much difference. But you got different people that thinks different, so I don't know what to say there.
How about your source of transportation? How did you
What?
get about?
We used to get up on the open air cars, you know, with the things up there. We used to go all the way up the Bigger Park. And then another thing to mention, every June they had what they call a refund picnic.
A refund picnic?
Somebody by the name of Reed donated a lot of money every year for these kids to walk to. So we'd get a free ride on the cars all the way up to the Bigger Park, and then we'd get on the merry-go-round, go out and watch all the animals. It didn't cost us nothing.
Oh, that's nice.
That was once a year. We used to look forward to that every year.
And would you take the trolley to get up there?
Oh, yeah, I'd have to get the only way you get up there. Yeah.
With the trolley. And how about after that? What else would you use for transportation?
That was the only transportation, unless you want to go down to Watertown and hire a buggy for, I think, cost $2.50 to hire a buggy for a whole afternoon. Then you used to go ride around, probably go out with a girlfriend or something like that, or a bunch of fellas get together.
And rent it and drive around for the day. Did you have to have a license then?
No license? No. Another thing, the cops are a lot different today than they were. Now the kids get out of a line, the cop would give the kid a boot in the pants and send them home. Then he go down and tell the parent's father, tell the father what the kid done. The father probably turn around and give him another licking. There was no going to court and having the cop arrested. They had more of those cops around with the kids today, they wouldn't have the trouble they're having now.
Yeah.
George Hammond and Bill Condren, Mike Hughes, those are all old timers. They didn't fool with the kids at all. I mean, they were good to them.
Yeah.
But you get out of line, they took care of you.
And the kids probably respected him too. Looked up to him. Okay, how about Silver Lake?
Well, that's one place the folks would never let us go up there. On account every year some kid would get drowned up there. In fact, I think I've only sneaked up there once in Silver Lake. Now it's all filled in, it's all factories there. No more lake at all.
Why would people drown there?
On account of that hot spring, the overflow from the boilers in the factory used to go into the lake. They used to keep that area there warm all the time. The ice would never freeze. If it did freeze, it'd be very thin, and the kids would fall in it. Almost every year the lake would take some kid. Same way with the swimming hole down here. Almost every year some kid would get caught down there too.
Near the swimming hole.
Yeah, in the river. Next to almost a mud hole like.
Do you remember the Depression at all? Those years?
Very much. I was very lucky. I was working.
And what were you doing then?
I was driving a truck at the time. I was very lucky. But I had a brother, one of the best tool makers around, worked in a watch factory for years. He was working for $15 a week. That's the way the thing went.
What did your other brothers and sisters do? You mentioned one was
Well, the one brother, he was here. He's the fellow that could really give you a story. And he was a doctor. He looked almost like, Dr. White. You ever hear of him?
Dr. White?
Well, he looked almost like a big heart specialist. Yeah. They used to ride around together on the bicycle and everything.
Oh, wow.
He's quite a storyteller too. And another thing is, we had a telescope in the backyard here, 20-inch telescope, looking at the stars. Yeah.
Do you know most of the stars? Can you look
Well,
up?
I forget all about it, but I was getting pretty well interested in it. But he was way up in that. They made the telescope themselves. It was quite a thing. Yeah.
What about your other brothers and sisters?
Well, one was a printer, and the other three brothers were tool makers. The other brother worked some shop down here in the mill, maintenance man. Yeah.
And how about your sister?
Well, she worked at Backrack for years. She's quite an artist. She painted that picture up there.
Oh, that's neat. She did that one right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
And the
really
brother, the doctor, he painted that one. He's quite an artist too.
Hmm. Were your parents artists at all?
Huh?
Were your parents artists at all? Did they paint or
The what?
did your parents paint at all?
No. No, father was no mechanic at all.
Uh-huh.
No.
Those are really pretty. Did they ever take lessons? Or just...
I think Lena's sister took a few lessons, not too long. The doctor never took a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't, that's not the best picture. You want to see some of the pictures. Yeah.
I'm not sure this. Still going. Is there anything else about the Depression that you can remember? Any other stories? About work or...
What?
About work. You said you were driving a truck?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Were you
Then I
doing
went welding after that.
down to the shipyard?
What?
To the shipyard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to the Raytheon after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long did you work at Raytheon?
We worked 7 years there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how would you take a trolley there or?
No, I
did
used
you
to drive a car. Drove a car up a few years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And how about your children? Do your children live around
What?
here? Your children live around here?
My daughter lives up in Wilmington.
Mm-hmm.
My other daughter's in Chicago now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they both went to school around here?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's great. Is there anything else, any other stories that you have that you'd like to tell about growing up or Nonantum or anything that's changed?
Well, it used to be quite a thing to go up there. We used to call the lake, when you said the lake, go up the water town, so that's what it is. We used to go up the lake probably on a Sunday afternoon, go up and get the college eyes for a banana split for 15 or 20 cents.
Prices have changed a lot.
Oh, they used to taste good. Yeah.
But Nonantum's basically remained the same.
What?
Nonantum's remained the same over the years? Has it changed that much?
No.
Since
You mean the prices?
Well, not the prices have changed a lot, but
No,
the town
no,
itself?
No, the town itself hasn't changed much. No. Outside they remodeled the whole block on water which was falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And they planted all new trees there last year.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good. Outside of that, there's no change.
Mm-hmm. Do you still see the same people you've seen your whole lifetime?
What?
Do you still see the same people you've seen your whole lifetime?
Yeah, but they're going they're passing away. I mean, the old timers are practically all gone. Not many of them left. But I used to know all the neighbors around there like that. Yeah.
And this street out here, Jassett Street, it's your family name.
It was named after the brother that killed in the First World War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did the street ever have a name before then, or?
It was a Crescent Street before that. Yeah. I think he was the first one killed in the World War I, too, if I'm not mistaken, in Newton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. Those are all my questions.
Huh?
Those are all my questions
Yeah.
that I have. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Stop that.